All right, so I'm going to show you how to network for job opportunities, even if you're an introverted person. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So, first and foremost, you are going to want to fully fill out your LinkedIn profile. So, this is mine. I'm a content creator on here, so I post a lot. I have already have a fully built out profile, but and which I also advocate for, and which you would know about as well. And you can get even more tips like this and more videos like this if you actually check out my community, Talented Data Nerds. Is going to be in the bio. Check it out there. I have an entire 2-hour masterclass on job hunting that I'm going to be dropping, and I also have a masterclass on becoming a successful freelancer using LinkedIn from Tomaz, which is a top Google Ads person that gets a lot of leads from LinkedIn. So that's coming up. Anyway, so first thing first, you want to make sure that you fill out your profile fully, and I mean fully. Make sure that you're filling out the tagline. If you have any links to relevant, if you have a website maybe or a portfolio website or anything like that, you can link to that. Just make sure everything is filled out, and you really want to try to reach that 500 connection mark. That's usually it usually just helps. It's all really just a looks thing. So if you can't get to the 500 connection point, it helps. I've literally gotten interviews without it, so it's not really fully important. But like I said, the little things help. And anything to stand out, anything to stand out is the name of the game. So that's why I became a content creator on LinkedIn, because it helped me stand out. And then I just saw a lot of good that came from it. So I just kept doing it. But yeah, make sure your experience is filled out. If you can post a couple things, even if you need to repost something, repost it. Just have some type of activity on your profile, showing that you're active. Make sure that you can create a banner for free on Canva. I created this in Canva, and yeah, just make sure everything's filled out. Profile picture is nice, clear. I could probably even do better on that profile picture. I just haven't gotten around to it. I used an AI one beforehand, but I just didn't like it, so I just changed it to this for now. But definitely do better than me on the profile picture aspect. But like I said, I had an even worse profile picture and still landed interviews with it. So, but it helps. Little things, like I was saying, little things. So once your profile is filled out, you're gonna want to go and find the actual job, right? So I'm just gonna use this one for example, and this is gonna be on the fly. So let's see if this actually works. So senior paid media specialist sounds like something I'll be qualified for. All right. Now they do have a lot of employees, so this is going to be a little bit hard. So I'm actually going to pick one with a smaller amount of employees, because the process with a lot of employees is you're just going to have to do a lot of digging. And this is a quick little video that I want to show you. So, and let's actually not even use that one. Let's actually use, let's try this one. 50 to 200 employees. So that's a pretty good amount. So senior paid media marketing manager. Now, if you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is going to be the next thing that I say, pick out what job you want. Make sure that you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can get a 30-day free trial, but I would advocate, pay for it. It literally is worth its weight in gold. So get LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's $99 a month. It'll help you out tremendously during your job search, because you'll get access to things like this, like who is the hiring team. So I know these two people, and this is exactly what I was going to point out next. So you're gonna, like, the whole point of networking, right, is I want to find out who is going to be in charge of interviewing me. I want to find out who's the department head that's going to be in charge of me if I were to get the position. I want to network with those people, right? I want to connect with those people. I want to message them. Those are the people that I want to connect with. So I can see right here that this is the job poster, April. So she posted it. So she's a senior recruiter, and then she's also going to be part of the hiring team. Now, you're not always going to get this information. There's going to be postings where it has nobody there, right? And you're not even going to see who the actual person that posted it even is. So you're going to have to do a little more digging. But that's where LinkedIn Sales Navigator is going to help tremendously. So I see that Polly, right, VP of Marketing, and April, she's going to be the recruiter on the job. I know that most likely the recruiters are usually the people that are going to be doing the screening interview. And either this person or it's going to be an HR person that's going to be doing the screening interview. And then I'm most likely going to meet with her next on the second interview or third interview, right? So now that I know that, now granted, let's just say this wasn't here. Let's just automatically say this was here. I know that I'm qualified for the job. All right, cool. Let's go to the actual company profile. So let me just negate this. So once you go to the company profile, like I said, there's about 51 to 200 employees. If it gets any larger, that's where you're gonna have to start getting creative with things. You're gonna have to connect with a lot of people, but this is like a perfect size company, so this is gonna make this quite easy. So you're just gonna hit the three dots and then view in Sales Navigator. Like I said, make sure that you get Sales Navigator. I cannot stress that enough. It helps you tremendously in your search. I'm gonna hit all employees, okay? And let me just move this out the way. And I'll move my face over here. So all employees, right? This is going to, and then you can even extend this out. Like I said, I already know the two people that are going to be in, like, I know the two people because I have like the Sales Navigator, but let's assume that we didn't. You're gonna go to seniority level and you're gonna see, okay, who is the director, right? Who could be the vice president of things. So you can even put, let's put senior, and we'll put, where'd the vice president go? We'll put vice president, and we'll do CXO, and we'll do. Now, sometimes in this large of a company, 200 employees, you're usually not going to have the CEO or that level of a person. That's usually going to be on the third interview, but I still want to connect with them either way. I still want to connect with them just to take a shot at it, right? But usually at these pretty medium-sized companies, you're not always going to be talking to the CEO. That's usually smaller, maybe 10 to 50 type of employees, around that range. So I already know that I'm probably not going to be connected with, but I want to connect with every person that has to do with talent, or there's usually another recruiter, anyone with that type of word. I want to make sure that I connect with them. So this is what you're going to start to do. I bucket people into a couple different groups because we're going to use a software, and as I'm going to show you later on, to make networking literally easy. You don't have to sit on here and just send out a bunch of connections all day. You can do it automated, but make sure that, of course, the message is actually relevant to the person. So let's see right here. So I know that she's a talent acquisition manager. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save, create a list, and you're going to want to name the list as, I mean, you could do whatever naming convention, but I usually do the actual company name. So if I know this company was Profiles, I'm just going to hit Profiles. I know that she is in charge of talent, so I put talent. And then I usually put the actual name of the job position that I'm going for. So it's Senior Paid Media Marketing. You can shorten it, of course, but let's just, for the sake of that. So I'm going to create a list. I'm going to add it to that. So I know that these are the people that I physically know are in charge of any type of talent or recruiting or anything like that. So I'm going to have a list of people that are that. And then I'm going to have a list of people that are going to be the actual managers or the directors that are going to be, managing me or my team or whatever it may be if I were to get hired. So I know that April was going to be on that team. So I'll take that same naming convention. Oops, accidentally saved it to there. So you're going to take her, create a new list. Like I said, you're going to do Profiles. I know that I forgot her position, but let's just call it director. You could even just do department leads. And then let's just Senior Paid Media. Perfect. Awesome. So now that you have her on the Senior Paid Media, I then create a bucket of people that are adjacent team members. So if I know my position is a Senior Paid Media Marketing Manager, there's probably going to be other senior. Well, I should have read more into that, what this job is. Oh, it's an agency. So if it's an agency, that means there's going to be other people that do exactly what I do. So you can do a couple things. You can use this keyword, filter, or you can do current job title and just put it as marketing. See what that comes up with. Nothing. So let's just put paid media. See if that comes up. All right, director of program, account manager, VPO. Let's just put marketing. Let's try that out. All right, perfect. So there's Polly again. And actually, I should have read this more closely. So she's actually a recruiter, so she wouldn't even be a department lead. She would actually be in the talent. And then this person, since she's above me, she would be a department lead. So that's saved there. And she's talent, senior account manager, business development, brand marketing specialist. So that would be a person that I would then create another list titled adjacent team members. adjacent employees, right? And then you're going to create a final list of all the other employees. So, and that's usually just like a fallback type of list that I use, because the main people that I connect with are the department people, the people in charge of hiring, and then the adjacent team members. Those are the main people that you're going to want to connect with. But if it's a small team and nobody's answering off of those three buckets, then you're just going to have to resort to all the other team members, for the company. So once you create those buckets, right, and you went through the entire employee list and you filled out those buckets, you're going to want to sign up for this program called Phantom Buster. Okay, Phantom Buster. So you're going to want to create, and this is an example of it, you're going to want to create a campaign, and I'm not going to give you a tutorial on this video for it, but essentially what Phantom Buster does is that you're able to send out connection messages automatically. So it's all automated, and I can send up follow-up messages if I wanted to. Now, do not make the mistake of making yourself sound like a dang robot. You want to make it sound very real and genuine, okay? So let's just look at what my setup was. So you basically just install a Chrome extension. You just connect it to LinkedIn, and then you're just gonna hit that. Um, and then once you have your lists, you're gonna go over to your lead list, and you're just gonna click on it, right? And then copy the URL from it, and then all you have to do is just paste it into here, and it's gonna automatically populate with all the people that you selected in your buckets, right? And do not make the mistake either of getting banned. I've already had my profile flagged for a different profile, so I had to start a whole new one, which I'm actually very happy that I did. But start off with just sending out, if you know that you're not super active on LinkedIn and you're not sending out a lot of connections, start with only 10 a day, and then week after week build up to the point where you get to 25. Right, 25 is usually going to be the maximum that you want to reach, because you can only send out about 100 connections per week until your account gets actually flagged. So just make sure you just set it to weekdays during working hours, because that's when the people are probably going to be most likely to answer. And then when you're done with that, you're just going to hit save. Now, this is where you're going to start curating your message. Now, this is a message that I've always used, and it's worked out pretty well. Always test. Okay, if you're in marketing, then you already know this. Like, test different messaging. I have another campaign that I use for just like personal outreach, for building up my network, and that one it took me a while to get here, but I have it at, I think, about 40% or something right now. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's about 38%, and that's just because it just sent out around today. So usually it hovers around 40 to 45%. So let's just go back to, like, anything above 30%, that's usually where you want to be. Anything below, then you need to start working on your messaging. But if you can get around 40 to 50%, then you're pretty golden right there. But of course, always reiterate, see if you can get a higher acceptance rate. So this is the message that I've used, right? I just applied for the open blah 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 position at your company, name the company, and I was curious if you might be involved in the hiring process for the role. I had a question I wanted to discuss, and I think it would be great to connect with you. Cheers. This doesn't sound like a robot, right? It's very specific. I'm talking about the job, I'm talking about the company, and I'm stating that I have a question. Now, you want to prepare a real question, okay? And I already have and that'll be in the follow up, right? But you want to make sure that you have a genuine question about the role, like something that you wouldn't know from the description of it, because there's going to be a lot of room for interpretation, or there's going to be a lot of room. There's going to be things they're not going to tell you on the job description, right? So to have a genuine question that you actually want to ask the person, right? So it's going to hit save, right? And then usually the follow up message that comes after that, hey, appreciate the connection. My question is, state the question that it is, because maybe they just accepted it and then they just didn't see it, right? A lot of times people don't see it, so just make sure you have a follow-up message. Now, I've found that after the second follow-up, most people they're not going to answer, so I usually just stop there. So my question is, do you know if there are any roadblocks or challenges that the team is currently facing which led to the decision to add a new paid search specialist? Essentially, I'm wondering, if I were to join your team tomorrow in that role, what immediate challenges would be awaiting my attention? Thank you in advance. So that's a pretty solid question, right? Like most people are going to be like, oh, like he's actually genuinely interested. If they thought you weren't interested the first time that you reached out, then they're really going to think you're interested with that type of question. Um, and then I usually just send that one day after they accepted the connection, because if they didn't respond immediately right then and there, then I want to make sure that I'm still fresh on their mind. So I send it usually just one day after that. Now you can send another follow up, and don't make the mistake of just saying, hey, just wanted to follow up. That's not the approach that you want to have. You don't just want to follow up. You want to reiterate the reason why you even reached out. So I double down right here. So I have in my industry, right, we usually do case studies, right? So I have a case study that I've already created. I can't really show it right here right now, but I have a case study document that I created. And then I also have, of course, my resume. So I just put realize that my last message is probably a little too open ended, right? Because it is a bit of an open ended, and it might, the person just may not want to answer. So you just put, but I did have a more direct question that I imagine is top of mind. What would be some pivotal, pivotal, pivotal targets or milestones that you envision the paid search specialist reaching within the next 6 months? P.S. I attached my resume and 3 case studies just in case you are interested in my background experience for the role. All right, so that's a really pretty good follow up there. Now, like I said, I don't even like sending this one out really, but yeah, I just send it out either way just to cover my bases. See if maybe perhaps they might reach out later down the line or something like that. But I'm all for maintaining positive professional relationships. So this will be my last message concerning the blah 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 role. However, if you find my experience suitable for the position or any similar role, please feel free to contact me at drop your number, drop your email, or reply here. And then, cheers. Right? So these are all automated. They all go out. This one goes out one day after. This one goes out 4 days after that. And then this one goes out 10 days after that. Right? So because there's only a small window that they're going to be hiring. So you don't want to have it wait too long. So that's why I use this as like a 10-day one, because at that point, this is just my last kind of please answer me type of thing. So that's the only reason why I put it at 10 days. But once you do that, you just hit save and it's automatically going to go out. So now the key to networking, right? Just have like I said, it's those genuine questions. When when they respond, right? They're either going to say, they might say, hey, like this is the answer to it, and then you just have something to follow up on that with. Now they may just say, hey, let's just hop on an interview. Like some people will literally just invite you to talk with on the phone with them, right? And this type of message is only going to be able to go out to the hiring team. So there's other messages that you're going to have to curate for different aspects of for the different the buckets that you created. So if you have the all employees, then you're usually going to be asking them, hey, what is your experience like at this company? What is your team kind of like currently working on, or things like that, right? If it's the recruiting, it's kind of the same thing. It's really the hiring, the department head, and the kind of recruiting team, if there is one. They're kind of the same type of messaging, but just keep that in mind that you're gonna have to tailor it to whoever the bucket is, and you're gonna have a different campaign for each bucket. So, and I'm gonna show you an actual real life example of me networking. So, and this is the exact position that I am at right now, and it's making me more than $80,000, $90,000. Um, so look, I'm going to show you this working right here. So I put, hey, I recently applied for the blah 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 position at Grow Ads, and I was curious if you might be involved in the hiring process for this role. I had a question I would like to discuss and thought it would be great to connect with you. Sure, ask away. Also, your background looks good. I would love to invite you to fill out our official job application. So he personally invited me, and now I'm on his radar. So once I fill out that application, he's automatically going to pull it because he wants to see, you know, what is he about. So that led to a position right there. And now I'm going to show you an actual, if you don't want to use LinkedIn, I'm going to show you an even better way to network with people. And that's through industry groups. So I'm part of a Slack channel called #Measure. And in a lot of these Slack channels, these industry Slack channels, they always have a hashtag job posting. So like this is Measure. If you go to CRO Growth Hacks, this one has a, where to go, hiring, where's another one? Product School. This is for like product managers. This one has a job one, PM job posts. So a lot of these industry Slack groups, and you can find them by just typing in whatever field you're interested in. Like I said, I really create content about for paid media people. So if you're a paid media person, just type in paid media Slack groups and you'll find them. Hashtag measure is a one that I used to actually land my first agency job. Zero. I only had freelancing experience. I didn't have any professional agency experience at all. It was just I was just a freelancer, and I wasn't even doing it for that long. So I went on to job postings. Somebody posted a job, right? And it was actually this guy right here. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show you the exact message. So with these, he already posted something. I said, "Hey Shane, saw your post concerning an open position at blah 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 as a blah blah blah." I took a look through the job description and believe I'd be a great candidate. Now, an even better way to do this, what I should have done, this is 2001, it was like 3 years ago. So what I should have done was already applied to the position, seem even more eager, right? But in this case, I didn't even apply, but I just reached out and was like, "Hey, was wondering, would you be the person to talk to concerning locking in an interview for that opening? If so, what would be the necessary steps needed on my part to get that booked?" So I was just shooting straight for the interview here. Like, you could play around with this message, but I was just shooting straight for the interview. And then he said, "Hey, thanks for reaching out, blah, blah." Now, it took some follow up, right? I filled out the application. It took some follow up with him. But eventually it landed, it turned into a position, right? And it was just by reaching out to a person that posted, something on this Slack channel. And the response rate from these people on a channel like this is way higher than it's going to be on LinkedIn. It's going to be like 70 to 80% of people are going to answer you back, especially if they posted something in that channel. But you want to be quick with it, okay? That's the key here too. Like, you don't want to, you can apply to job postings that are like a week or two old, but I get to job postings as soon as they're posted. So like the cadence that I was doing every day is I would go onto LinkedIn, I would have keyword alerts, I would have my defined filters, and I would just add things to a list. I had a Notion document, and I would just add every single day that I would go through. Okay, what are the new job postings? Add it to it. Okay, this was posted 3 hours ago. When you have over 100 applicants, it's just going to be a little bit harder. Like, you're going to have a lot more competition, and the hiring team is not going to sort through 100 applicants. I promise you. Like, the applicant, like, even maybe if it's their actual, that's why if they actually have a recruiting team, then you might have a higher likelihood. But if I see that it's a small company and they have over 200, 300 freaking applicants on the job listing, I mean, I'm not even gonna really waste my time unless I can network with the people. So those are the cases where, like I said, they're gonna pull your resume because they see that you reached out to them, they connected with you. They're gonna be more likely to pull your resume. So you can still take a gamble on those 300 applicant ones, but like I said, I try to go for it. I didn't really have that problem because I would go for ones that were posted 3 hours or 1 day, 2 days maximum. I wouldn't really go for the ones that were posted like a week ago or something like that. So, and then I'm going to show you another example of how I networked with this lady by it was just another person in my industry, right? Because you can always get referrals from people, that are in your industry. So let's just see if I can. I think it's in the unread. There we go. So I just reached out to her. I was just like, "Hey, so we share some, mutual connections. And that we both work in digital marketing. So I figured I'll shoot over connection. Warning: I sincerely love talking about our industry. So if you accept this, just know I will 100% message you to chat about what you're working on. Sorry, not sorry, right? Got to be creative." And then she just said, "Hey, Angel, I've always loved advertising." I'll just ask her a general question. Always love advertising. Also, by any chance, are you looking for a new opportunity? You have an impressive resume. People, all it takes is literally just sending out a message, and a position like this came. I mean, I'm not looking for one right now, but as you can see, it's just like a position could just fall into your lap just by networking with other people in the industry. And like, let's look at her profile. I'm pretty sure she's a director, yeah, director of paid media. So I directly connected with her, and that's what happens when you connect with the people that are already going to be in charge of you. They're going to check out your resume. If you're already creating content, they're going to be like, "Oh, wow, like, he creates content. He likes what he does. We do have this open position coming up in maybe 2 weeks. We didn't even post it yet. I'm going to reach out to him first," right? Because, like, let's look at their company, right? Let's just see if they even have any job postings available. See, okay, so they do have it posted 4 months ago. So it was posted 4 months ago, and she's reaching out to me about it. So maybe the person isn't doing that great. I don't know, but as you can see, this is all it takes. Like, you don't have to be extroverted to network um, online. It's quite simple, and you can do it at scale with using a software like this. So I hope that helps. Any questions, any concerns, just ask me. Like I said, I have a 2-hour masterclass on job hunting, specifically for paid media, and I'm going in depth into targeting your job search, setting your goals, interviewing, how to network. I'm going even more in depth in this, acing that interview, a lot of stuff. So, and then not only am I dropping that masterclass in there, it's also I'm going to have industry experts come on. I have Tomas, I forgot his last name, but he's a Google Ads specialist, and he's really big on he has a really big LinkedIn presence. So he is going to be coming on talking about how to be a successful freelancer using LinkedIn. So, and then you're going to also have the community aspect of everyone else that's going to be job hunting right along with you. So you're going to have accountability partners. You're going to have people telling you their tips and strategies. There's going to be a whole community all about career growth for paid media professionals. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely hit the link. I don't know if this is going on YouTube. It should be in the bio. If this is going anywhere else, you'll see a link somewhere. So yeah, I hope that helped, and catch you guys later. Bye.